Awesome. So again, my name is Amanda Kissel. For those of you that are just hopping on here, I am the job coach for the Young Money Managers that we have here today. And I'll go into, we'll do an icebreaker for my, so I'm presenting on resiliency, that topic in general. And so we're going to do a little icebreaker whenever I get into that, but I'll have the Young Money Managers introduce themselves. And Kosi, if you want to start.
Yeah, that's perfect. Hi, everybody. My name is Nkosi. I am a Young Money Manager, and I've been with the program for 3 years now. I'm really excited to get into it with you guys and talk about our respective topics. We've done a lot of work over the last few weeks, and we're very excited to share it with you.
Tania, you want to go next?
Sure. Hey guys, I'm Dania, and this is my first year of Young Money Managers, but 2 years in the program. And I just want to say I'm excited to teach you guys about this topic today. Like Cozy said, we're about to wrap it all up, but we just want to show you how everything connects to the real life. And so I want you all to take a lot of stuff away with you.
Awesome, thank you. Alexis, would you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello, I'm Alexis. I'm a Young Money Manager. It's my first year. Also, I've been in STL Youth for 3 years. So I'm also alumni. That's it.
Jeremiah?
So I'm Jeremiah. I am an alumni as well. Been with Young Money Managers for a year and can't wait to present this presentation to you guys.
Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen now. And we'll start this presentation. Let's see. Awesome. Can everyone see my screen okay? Wonderful. All right, Jeremiah, off to you.
Alrighty, so welcome everyone. For all of you that is in and has stuck with us through all of this. This is the presentation. We are going through resiliency throughout young adulthood, presented by the Young Money Managers, us. You wanna, there you go. All right, so these are the topics that we're going through today. Resiliency, post-secondary plans, entrepreneurship, investing, and then my favorite topic, Black excellence. And we're just gonna go through this and then just let us know how you guys feel, the questions that you guys have, and then we'll go from there.
Wonderful. So Charity was originally going to be the one presenting on resiliency, but she could not make it due to some unfortunate circumstances. So I will be presenting on resiliency, but it's also a topic that means a lot to me because I previously to being a job coach, I also am a counselor. So I have, my background is in mental health and learning how to be resilient, learning those coping strategies to be able to face adversity. And so this topic really does mean a lot to me because, you know, everyone faces hardships, everyone faces difficulties. It's all about how we bounce back stronger. So that's kind of what resiliency is. So let's get more into that. So we're gonna do an icebreaker. The icebreaker that I have is we are going to, it's called the gratitude game. And what this is that, sorry, there's a couple of people in the waiting room I gotta let in. Okay. So the gratitude game that we are going to play as the icebreaker, I'm going to roll a dice for those that want to participate. Number one, you will say a name, or you will name a person that you're thankful for. Number two, you'll name a place that you're thankful for. Number three, you'll name a food you're thankful for. Number four, you'll name a thing that you're thankful for. And number 5 or 6, you'll name anything of your choice that you're thankful for. And how this ties into resiliency is you really have to have a positive mindset in order to be resilient. You have to be able to be open-minded. You have to be able to think in that way in order to overcome those hardships. So who wants to go first? Who wants me to roll the dice for them to see what they'll say? And actually, okay, and Cozy, you're first. I have to go get my dice, actually. I forgot to grab it. Here it is. Okay, I'm gonna roll the dice. It's a 1.
It's a 1, so I have to say a person I'm thankful for. Person I'm thankful for. I am thankful for my younger sister. When you are, and I say that because when you're around young people and you sort of get to understand why it's so important to be a positive influence, and she does that for me. So my
I love
younger,
that. Perfect. Thanks. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
I'll go. Oh,
I think in the chat,
Your
Bren
name.
wanted to go after me.
What'd you say?
In the chat, Bren said she wanted to go after
All
me.
right, Bren, you want to go? Number
yes, I'll go. A food I'm thankful for.
6.
Okay. Well, I guess if I had to pick one, I'd say I'm thankful for mangoes. It is a food. So mangoes, I'm thankful for mangoes. It's actually my favorite food, but I'm thankful for it because of the nutrition and pretty much the benefits behind mango. So they have like a high boost of immunity. And just like I guess I can tie that to like the pandemic and stuff like that, just pretty much just protecting your immune system and having a good health.
Definitely. I love that. I like the way you thought of why you're thankful for it. That's perfect. Who else wants to go? I guess I'll go. Well,
What we doing?
you want to go, Johnny?
I don't know what we doing.
Oh, so I'm gonna roll a dice, and whatever number it lands on, you're gonna say a person, place, food, thing, or anything of your choice that you're thankful for. So
Okay.
for you, it landed on number 5. So you get to name anything that you're thankful for.
I pick one. Name a person you thankful for. It can be any person.
Yeah, any person.
I say I'm thankful for Caitlin for helping me push through my goals and helping me yeah, she helped me through this before the program started. She helped me with a lot, and I just want to say I'm thankful for her.
Oh, that was really sweet. I love that. Anyone else want to go?
I'll go.
Okay. I'm gonna roll the dice, and it is a number 2. Wow, we're getting each one of these hit.
Name a place.
Mhm.
I don't know. My house. I'm thankful for my house and not being homeless.
Oh, and tell me why you're thankful for your house.
Cause it's you with my family. Like everybody ain't got to pay bills, you know. Yeah,
Perfect. Sometimes it's those simple things that we take for granted that, this is one, doing the gratitude game. It's something that I do every day. I think of 3 things I'm thankful for every morning. And it's just a good way to start your day, a good mindset to start, to begin your day. So this was just a fun activity to help us think more positively about some things that we may be taking for granted. So we'll move on to what resiliency is. Does anyone know or want to describe what resiliency is?
I'll get to do one.
You want to do one?
Sure, I'm already participating in mine as well.
Okay. Are you talking about the dice game? You want me to roll the dice for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2. So that was name a place that you're thankful for.
Like the last person said, I don't know his name, but I guess home,
Yeah, definitely.
because that's the only place you literally get to be, vulnerable. You know, you don't have to be strong for everybody. There's a place where you get to lay your head and be peaceful.
Yeah, I like the way you're thinking of looking at it. Yeah, for sure. Do you want to share what you think resiliency is?
Uh, I'm not big on big words, so I don't even know what.
Do you have any
I
guess?
don't even know that. Um, Resiliency. I don't know, something that I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know. You gonna have to come
That's
back on
okay.
mute.
Okay. Anyone want to share what they think resiliency is or what it means to them?
I put my answer in the chat.
Oh, you did? Okay, sorry, I can't see the chat box, so, whoops. And Kosi, are you able to see it?
Yeah, I'll read it.
Okay,
Quinn said that resiliency is being able to rise above difficult situations. Yeah.
oh, yes, that's, I like the way you put that, simple, yep.
We have Asia in the chat. I think resiliency is basically bouncing back, which is also correct.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely. Perfect. I have the chat pulled up now. I can see it now. Yeah, so those are simple ways to put it. Exactly. Resiliency is the ability to overcome challenges of all kinds like trauma, personal crises, general life problems, tragedy, and bounce back stronger, wiser, and more personally powerful. You guys said it perfectly. So how have you guys been resilient? Do you guys have anything you want to share about how you've been resilient? It could be something as simple as I was having a hard time getting out of bed, but I was able to do it because I thought of these certain things and that motivated me to get out of bed. It can be anything that basically an example of you overcoming something that was hard for you.
I have one.
Sure.
Well, dealing with like COVID this last year and not really having a football season, only having 4 games instead of 10.
Yeah.
I'd say overcoming that and still managing to find my way to my goal, which was college, you know, even though I won't be playing sports, but I was able to find my way into a goal and a passion that I was able to pursue. So
That's perfect. Exactly. Yeah, you faced some difficulty because you didn't have the season that you really wanted, but you still thought of the future and thought what things are ahead, and that excited and motivated you. I love it. Time management has helped me become resilient and being able to organize things that I do in my life. I used to have a hard time managing things, but that I had to do each day and got a calendar. Yeah, definitely. Time management, that's always a difficult subject because that's a hard thing to manage and master. And it sounds like you were able to find one way to master that that subject, and you were able to figure out a way that works for you to be able to overcome it. Perfect. Anyone else want to share? Asia said, I was having a hard time with my grades last semester through virtual school, but I managed to end with a GPA of a 3.8. That's amazing. Wow. Yeah, virtual school is not easy. It's nothing like I'm sure that you're used to being in person for all those years you've been in school. Having to be virtual is a huge change. And another change is another aspect that you have to be resilient with, because you have to be able to overcome those changes that you're not used to. And it sounds like eventually you were able to figure out a way to get a really great GPA. Awesome. Being in college during virtual is horrible. Oh gosh, I couldn't imagine being in college having to be virtual. That's a time where you want to be with friends and be social while still, managing your classes. And that just sounds really hard. But it
Yeah,
sounds like you guys are
I
getting,
think what she said with her grades, how it was having what she said about school, and she still managed. It was mine similar like that. I had a hard time getting into my dream college, but I still like achieved and went to a different college that's not actually my dream college, but I still managed to like last for like probably like 2 semesters.
yeah. And you have to, part of being resilient is having to adapt, having to Maybe this isn't going to work out. Well, what can I do? What can I do instead to still reach my goal? And it sounds like you were able to adapt in that situation. Perfect. So let's move on. What are some key traits to being resilient? Well, there's quite a few, and we kind of touched on them just a little bit, but we'll go keep discussing them. Staying positive. I've already mentioned that. You have to have that positive outlook on life. You have to be flexible. Again, understand that things are going to change what you have planned, and you have to be flexible in order to kind of go with the flow with those changes. Adaptability, like John A was saying, she adapted to what her goals are and still was able to reach her goal of going to college. Willingness to learn and grow. You have to have an open mind. You have to understand that, you have to understand that you're going to continue to grow and learn, and have to be ready for what those things are. That also relates to being open-minded. You have to believe in success. You have to believe that you can do it. Believe that you can go to college. Believe that you can get a car. Believe that you can get a job and keep the job for a long time. You have to believe in yourself. You have to be hardworking, dedicated, motivated, solution focused. And what that means is you have to be able to understand that when a problem comes, well, you have to then think, how can I solve this problem? How can I move forward and overcome this problem? So you have to think about ways that you are able to find solutions to different things that come up in your life. You have to be a critical thinker and being able to overcome challenges. This is all of these bullet points here are ways to be able to overcome challenges that are put your way. Next, we're going to talk about how to build resiliency, because resiliency isn't something that, it's kind of a roller coaster, if you will. Some days you can be really resilient and feel really confident. Other days you may feel less resilient, depending on what the situation is and what is in your path. So just know that you might have to build resiliency after already feeling resilient, So there are 5 categories of ways to build resiliency. You have to find the meaning in what you're doing. So finding that purpose. Self-care is very important. You have to practice self-care. You have to take care of yourself in order to take care of other things in your life. Connections are important. Forming them, having friendships, speaking with parents, siblings, family members. Just having those connections are really important to overcoming obstacles and having that support. You have to know yourself, what you can handle, what you can't handle, what you need in times of stress, and what's going to work for you, what's not going to work for you. Lastly, you have to reframe your thinking. Again, we've already talked about this, but whenever you want to be resilient, you have to think positively about situations. And know that there is going to be hope, or know that there is hope at the end of the tunnel, or light at the end of the tunnel. And then being able to moderate and decrease stress whenever you are faced with stress, because let's be honest, everyone is going to face stress depending on the level of stress. Everyone faces stress pretty regularly. There's always something happening in life that's going to come in our way that we're going to have to learn how to moderate and get through. So that's kind of the next slide. We'll be talking about how we can overcome stress. And then being able to manage our emotions, that's going to be important as well. So what are some ways that we can cope with hardship or stress? I put this slide on here because coping strategies are so important. We got to be able to manage our emotions and be able to be our best self in order to be resilient. So the very first one I put is that we all have to breathe. And obviously we're all going to be breathing, but what I mean by this is deep breathing. So when we're anxious, or when we're upset, or when we're mad, or when we're sad, our breathing is not, it's not as deep as it could be. So basically just taking those deep breaths whenever we're experiencing any big emotions. There's a link there for an article that lists different breathing exercises, and it's going to be in the email that we send out with other resources. So just be on the lookout for that. Find a support network. It's so important to have people that you feel you can talk to, or you can go to, or you can relate to talk about any hardship that you overcome. Because sometimes all it takes is a conversation with a friend and you already feel 100 times better. So just knowing that you have a support network, knowing who those people are, getting a counselor or talking to somebody about your difficulties, that kind of relates to the support network. A friend, family member, a mentor, your job coach. Those are great people to talk to about anything that you may be experiencing, because they're only there to help you. Reflecting, journaling, drawing, listening to music. Those are all great ways to kind of help get your mind back on track after stress. Reading uplifting quotes. That's something that I enjoy. I love reading quotes that are uplifting and that will put me in a better mindset. Reframing your negative thoughts to be more positive. And what I mean by that is, if you look to the picture on the right of the screen, these are ways that we can make our thoughts be more positive. Not everything will go my way, but I will try to be flexible. This hurts, so I need to be extra kind towards myself. I am always important no matter what. Everything will get better sooner or later. So just thinking in those ways will definitely help us be able to overcome hardships. Engaging in self-care or something you enjoy, that's already been mentioned. And being kind to yourself. It's so important. Don't be hard on yourself. You have to give yourself grace, and you have to understand that things are going to come up, things are going to happen. And know that, everything will be better with time. What are some ways that you guys cope with stress? Do you guys have any strategies that you guys use that work for you?
You can take a walk or talk to somebody that you really trust.
Yes.
It's so many things that you can use, like coping skill. It don't matter what it is, as long as it help you calm down or help you get over your stress. See, when I went through this, mine to help me calm down, I have to have some punching. I have to punch something for me to calm down, because my anger get above and beyond to where I can't control it.
Yeah, Johnny, that's great. You said taking a walk. That's another physical exercise. Physical activity is a great way to cope with emotions. That helps us stay level-headed. It keeps helps us kind of clear things through our head. And then you mentioned needing to get some physical aggression out. You said punching. I would recommend using a punching bag or punching your pillow. Those are great ways to get out that physical aggression that's inside. Definitely don't be punching walls. That's going to hurt your hand. So just, using your energy in ways that work for you. Obviously we don't want to hurt other people or ourselves. So we definitely have to keep that in mind, but that's a great example. Anyone else want to share before I move on to the next slide?
We have some
I
stuff.
write poetry.
Yeah. Awesome. Poetry. Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff in the chat. People.
Oh, we do?
Yeah. Bryn says she prays. She
Oh, yeah.
Aria agrees. She prays to bring herself peace.
Yep.
Asia says she just needs alone time sometimes, which is also because, just being able to sit and, be by yourself. Mary Jean says drinking water, and also says working out, sitting down and talking to somebody. Janae said. Jakila, I apologize if I said your name wrong, but she listens to music or watches our favorite TV shows. And Johnny also said working out.
Love it. Love to hear all those great ways that you guys cope with stress. Something that I do is take a walk outside. I love getting fresh air. Getting fresh air is a way for me to clear my mind. It's a way to kind of refocus my thoughts. I like that. That was mentioned a couple times too. Thank you guys for your participation. I love the feedback. So going on to the next slide, it's gonna go, here we go. There are a couple articles. The one that the deep breathing exercises is listed, and then 7 characteristics of a resilient person, that's there. And then a video. If we have time at the end, I will show it. If not, I'll link it in the email that we send out. So I want to talk about how resiliency relates to the other topics that we're going to talk about, like post-secondary education, entrepreneurship, investing, Black excellence. It relates because resiliency is a part of all of those categories. You have to be resilient in life. And in life, that includes all of those things. And we'll get more into it because each one of them are going to relate their topic back to resiliency. So yeah, that's kind of why the overall topic is resiliency, but related to the other topics, because we want to touch on a few other topics that are relevant to you guys. So there we go. I want you guys to remember, when you cannot find the sunshine, be the sunshine. That's a perfect example of one way to be resilient. Any questions about this topic specifically? Or are we good to move on? There's a chat. Okay, never mind. Okay, perfect. We're going to move on to the next topic, which is post-secondary plans, post-secondary education plan, presented by Alexis. So Alexis, go ahead and take the floor.
Hello, my name is Alexis Harris. Once again, why I took this topic and why it means a lot to me. I just recently graduated college last fall with a degree in business management. If anybody going to college soon or this upcoming fall.
See, I want to go back to college, but I don't think college is a good thing for me. Like, I want to go back so bad. Like, I want to go back but I don't think college is a good fit for me.
Okay. We got somebody in the chat. This is my last time.
Somebody said they thinking of going to grad school.
Yeah, me too. I'm thinking about going to grad school too. What school y'all graduate or go to?
So I did 2 years at Culver Stockton College. It's in Canton, Missouri. It's in like the middle of nowhere, so it doesn't matter. And then I transferred to Harris Stowe. So I'm doing I did my last 2 years at Harris Stowe, and I'll be graduating in December. I'm not really sure where I want to go for grad school, just trying to go where the money is. But my top school is NCAT. It's in North Carolina.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. The Carolina A&T, I know definitely you're talking about.
I got a question for Brian. How is Harris Stowe? Because I got accepted to Harris Stowe, but I'm nervous.
So I went to visit Harris Stowe in high school, and I can say I have two different opinions on it compared to like when I was in high school and now. I honestly will say that it's a really good school, and it really helps you like resource wise, like the staff and like your professors, they want to see you succeed. So it's a really good school. Even though it is small, it's a really good school. And I feel like if you're like really looking for like a small school, then I'd say apply there. And they have like so many like scholarships, like they're just like giving money away. So I definitely would say, I'm not just saying that because I go there or anything. You know how people just brag on their school because they go to a school, but I'm being honest with you and telling you that it's a really good school.
Okay, so any of you have like, I know some of you guys just said that y'all already have your post-secondary plan.
Can you repeat that? You skipping.
I'm sorry. I said, do any of you guys have like any post-secondary plans at high school? I know some of you guys already said that you guys are already in college or going to college this fall, out of high school or graduating high school. Do y'all have any post-secondary plans? Anybody?
Like what we gonna do like after high school or after college and stuff?
No, just as far as after high school.
See, I could have been graduating. Let's see. I went maybe this year, but instead I want to take my after that instead of my career, my education, I want to take that to Houston. I want to move somewhere else to do it. I don't think St. Louis got good schools
Okay.
down here for me to achieve it.
So post-secondary planning, meaning the education that follows the success completion of secondary education. It's kind of,
Hey, Alexis, or Amanda, whichever one of y'all can hear me. You're going in and out like really bad.
Yeah, it's like skipping.
okay. I don't know what's going on as far as that. I don't know if it's like the signal. Can you guys hear me now?
Connection thing, I think.
Yes, more of a connection thing right now.
Just go ahead
So
and continue,
next,
and we'll ask you to repeat anything that we didn't hear.
okay. So some post-secondary options at the high school. You can do a 4-year college here in St. Louis or out of town. You can also do a community college here at home or out of town, or go to JUCO. Or you do trade schools as far as like Rankin. I know Rankin has a good program. Some beauty schools. I don't really know any too close. I had one, but they closed it down. They closed it down because of the pandemic. Culinary schools, it's somewhere in St. Louis. They have one. They most definitely have one in Forest Park. They have a culinary school there. Nursing school. You can go to UNSU. I know they have a good nursing program. I have like three friends.
Four parts teach the same stuff they taught last year and the year before last. I recommend that.
Who you say?
Fourth part teaches the same stuff every year over and over and over. I recommend that.
Oh, okay. Nursing school, UNSU. I know I have 3 friends that's about to graduate with their nursing degrees. You go to the Army. I know most people at the high school like to go to the Air Force, the Army, military, and then you have the workforce, of course. Some people don't want to go to none of this school at all, or try to pick up a trade and just want to go to straight to workforce at the high school. So at a 4-year university, I'm sorry. So a 4-year university, you have public versus private. I went to a public university. I went to the University of Central Missouri. If anybody's going there this year, next year, or trying to actually apply for any schools, you have in-state and out-of-state, in-state tuition, and then out-of-state tuition. As far as that, in-state, like more of Missouri. If it's out-of-state tuition, if you're from Missouri, it's going to be a little bit more than you expected. Going to cost a little bit more. HBCU versus PWI. I went to PWI. HBCU is considered as far as like Hearthstone, Lincoln University, Jackson State, Tennessee State. PWI went to the University of Central Missouri again, as I stated at first. That's the PWI. You have SLU. You also have UNSU. Then you have a small campus versus a large campus. My campus that I went to is more. It was more of a large, which with public colleges too. You have more of like, it's more wider, variety of majors and available like to study. So you have more to look forward to than a small campus. More private schools, they have smaller classes because due to like the limited amount of majors they you have to choose from normally at a public school. Then you can to get a full college experience, really get out on campus if you're at school this semester too, but get a full college experience, have fun. I have some people in the group chat, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Get the full college experience, go to things and events on campus and stuff. At a public college, they more the campus life is more activities during the day. I can't vouch for that. At a public school, we did have like activities here and there or something going on during the day. Private schools, it's more of small clubs or little things that they have on the campus just because it's a private school. Living on and off campus. So living on campus as far as that, you have to be when you first come in as a freshman living on campus, it's more, you have to stay on campus your first freshman year. Then off campus, you get off campus. Now, due to COVID, now you can really move off campus and stay in apartments now. But at first, your freshman year, you have to stay on campus. Greek life, I don't know if anybody Greek in here or not, because most of y'all said y'all in college. Greek life, you have the D9, then you have the other sororities and fraternities on campus. And then it most definitely give you more independence experience on campus. Like usually in high school, you usually get told, your parents gotta wake you up to get ready for school, waking you up, take you to your bus, or you gotta walk to the bus stop. Or in college, you on your own time management, like you're really, really on your own time. So it's up to you if you want to go to class. So as far as that is, if you want to get up and go to class, or if you want to go get something to eat or hang out with your friends, skip class, it's just up to you and just being more time management and being an adult. And if you do go to school, a college or university, it is more expensive than what you expect it to be.
And really fast, I just want to chime in and say that the reason we're telling you all these characteristics about each post-secondary option is so that you guys can kind of, as we're talking about it, get a feel of, if you don't have an idea already, kind of getting a feel for what you think is going to work for you. What do you think you want to do? If you want to go to a 4-year university or community college and then 4-year university, this is just kind of a way that we're helping you guys kind of think through what your post-secondary plan is.
Next, we have community college. From community college here, we have Forest Park, Merge, Florissant Valley, Wildwood, South County. I really didn't know that South County had a community college, so I'm learning something too. Also, at a community college, you can stay there and get your associates. You can do 2 years, and then you can go off to a 4-year university and transfer to a 4-year university and get your bachelor's degree. It's more cheaper than a 4-year university if you're part of the A+ program at your high school and they give you at least $2,000 or $1,000 for community college, or you can take it to your university that you want to attend to. If you want to go straight to a 4-year university, I chose to go to a 4-year university because just to get the experience of being on campus and just getting experience, just being on campus at a 4-year university. I didn't want to stay home. So that was my main focus when I graduated high school. So I didn't really want to stay here to do a 2-year. Most people told me I should have, but I didn't really take upon that. But a great way to start, if you don't have a career in mind, you must definitely and when you go to college and stuff like that, just with that, like if you don't got no career or a career field in mind as far as or a degree or a major to choose, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. If you're not picking a major so far, when you first go into your 4-year college, most definitely just do your just go to a community college and do your gen eds, which are like the basic math or science or reading. Because really your gen eds is going to be based off of your ACT score. So if you score low on your ACT score, that's how they're going to do your gen eds for your requirements. So, and you save a lot of money. So yes. And you can take, and also don't let no college ever tell you that you only could take your summer classes at that university, because it's not true. You can also, like, if you have 2,000 or 3,000 classes and you have to take summer classes, you must definitely come back home or from KC or St. Louis and take your summer classes at that community college. So don't let a university just say, oh, you only could take them here. Sometimes you do have to be required to take it at your university because they don't really have it at the community college. But if they have it at the community college and you could take your chances to be cheap, it's cheaper than taking it at a community college.
Yeah, and just make sure.
Sure.
Oh, sorry. Before if that's something that you do, make sure before you take the class that it will transfer so that you don't waste your time.
I was just about to say
Yeah,
that. Yeah, I was just about to
Yeah,
say that. That's what happened to me. That's what happened to me. So when my first school that I went to was a PWI, and it was a private liberal college. So pretty much like most of those classes that I like took did not transfer over to Harris Stowe. So like I would have been graduating in May, and so they only took like a portion of my credits. And so I like with my psychology major, the classes that I took in my PWI, they did not have those at Harris Stowe. So it kind of looked like those classes were like made up, but they actually weren't. So I pretty much just had to like restart like most of my classes over. So I definitely would ask before you like try to transfer to like a different school or something like that, just to like make sure like your credits transfer over, because some colleges will be like, oh yeah, like your credits will transfer over, and then you get there and they don't accept your credits, and now you're just like upset because you got to take all these classes over. But
True. Yeah, that's another thing. Must definitely make sure that your credits, your credits can transfer over to your university, because you most definitely will be repeating your classes over, and they will not care for real. They just not gonna have nothing to do with that. They're gonna just tell you that up front. So yes. I'm ready for the next part, Amanda. Okay. So also some trade school versus community college. So some trade schools here in St. Louis is like Rankin Tech. Oh, you got American Trade School, Midwest Institution. We have beauty schools here, Paul Mitchell, and this is the institution. I ain't never heard of that one. Crave Beauty Academy, Grabbers School of Hair Design in Simpleton. I never heard of none of those. I'm sorry. Like I told you guys earlier in the presentation, that culinary schools here. Forest Park has a culinary school. It's another one, but I cannot think of it right now. It probably come later on. Some nursing schools, Chamberlain, Goldfarb, St. Louis Community of Health Career. You can also do nursing at BJC. They got a good nursing program, I know. And then also, like I said earlier in the presentation.
Forest Park got a nice school now. They just opened up
You say who?
Forest Park, St. Louis Community College. They just rebuild the nursing building.
Oh, okay. So there's another school for nursing. People that want to go for nursing. Yikes.
Yeah, there's a lot more than what we listed. So if you're interested in any of these fields, do your research, find one that's going to work for you. And I also want to point out, Alexis, is it okay if I point out something else too?
Oh, yes.
So the difference between trade school and your typical college experience is, trade school is going to give you a hands-on experience. They're going to give you practice in a field where you're going to be doing some hands-on work. So if you see yourself as being more of a hands-on person and you get more out of an experience if you're working hands-on with something, then I would look into trade schools. That's a good place for you to look into if you're wanting your career to be more hands-on. So I just want to point that out.
So some other options, you can do military or even workforce. One of the Young Money Managers definitely is going off to the military or the army, right?
Yeah, the National Guard.
Yeah, the National Guard. So Jeremiah be going to the National Guard. So yeah, there you go. Oh, you want to join the army? Okay.
I
Okay.
want to do it. Okay, my uncle was in the army, but I be seeing like different like background, like what people say. Like some people that's in the army, they say different things. They be like, "Oh, this not the army that you thought it would be," or some people be like, "Oh yeah, this like." I'm hearing like two different stories that make me want to go and not want to go to the army.
Okay. Well, I know workforce is another choice. Most people don't want to go to the military or the army as far as how their life goes or whatever their situation is in life. Most people just want to work and do the workforce and, you know, don't want to go to school, which I don't doubt nobody for not going to school because as far as, yeah, school is not for everyone, which I know that. I have multiple friends that really left college and came back home and didn't go back and started doing rapping and other things of that nature.
Yeah, like someone pointed
But yeah,
out
most definitely.
that everyone has their own experience with the military, and that is so true because the military can be so different for everybody. Recruiters never really tell you exactly what occurs. Yeah, it's kind of like you have to experience it for yourself. I like that. Yeah.
It ain't that. It's just the fact that like it be like so much stuff. Like they say there's so much stuff going on to the army that you gotta like keep it to yourself. Like no matter what it is. Like
yeah, I agree.
my friend, she was in the army and she was like, if y'all seen that girl that like got like she went missing, they
Yeah.
knew whatever happened, they have to keep that under like low key undercover, all that stuff. That's
Yeah,
why
there's
stuff
like
that happen in the army that you can't say put out in the real world because you're gonna get in trouble for it. What
yeah.
you said, like it's that.
I definitely can agree. Well, my boyfriend, he just actually this is like his first year being in the Air Force, and like pretty much like his recruiter and like his friends are in the Air Force and they're deployed right now. So I think two of his friends are in China right now, and I think they're staying there for like 3 years. So they have like 3 years to like serve, and then they're pretty much they can choose to continue to serve more years or not, because I know there's a contract that you have to go by. But pretty much he was just telling me that the Air Force isn't what he expected it to be. Meaning by recruiters try to like I guess they try to get you like they reel you in. They reel you in to pretty much make it seem like it's like really like good, but you kind of have to like experience it and like see if it's for you or not. And like I guess he's seeing it for himself and seeing that it's not as what he thought it would be. Like he's really interested in like the field that he wants to like work in, but I guess he thought that he was going to go straight into his career when he got into the Air Force instead of building his way up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like that. Like it's like people go because they think they go automatically like go to what they want to go to, but you have to like go through so much. And it like if it happen, say if something happened like right now, say if I was in the army right now and something happened, but I want to put it out there and let everybody know, I can get in trouble because it's a contract, but you ain't know it's gonna be like that. Like if y'all know what I'm saying, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. I just feel like you just kind of just gotta like I guess like with like trying to find like a career and things like that, you kind of just gotta like see what works for you and like outweigh your options in a way. I don't know. I just feel like it's just like a learning experience. You know, you live and you learn and kind of just like grow from like your experiences. So I mean, I don't know. If you're interested in going to like the military, I definitely would say do it and just look at it as a learning experience. If you like it, you know, continue with it. But if you don't, they can't make you stay in the military, you know, so it's you can leave.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like if I join, then they're gonna make me stay because it's a contract that you got to stay in there for a certain period of time. See,
Yeah, there's
that's
certain
the thing.
restrictions that you can get out of it, but it just really depends on like your contract. So I definitely would like definitely do research and like ask more before you know you sign that contract, because you always want to read before you sign that dotted line.
Definitely. And I was going to ask Jeremiah if you want to share anything about this particular topic, since you're basically getting gonna be shipped off next year, I think, right? Jeremiah, do you have anything to add? Unmute it.
Yo, you ain't gonna tell me that it was not
Oh, my
muted.
bad.
We can't hear you.
But no, yeah, afterwards, put my information down. But no, yeah, long term. You can hear me now?
No, start over.
He skipped
Can you
a
hear me
hill.
now?
Go ahead.
You can hear me now? What I was saying was to keep the slides moving, I'll definitely talk to you guys afterwards. Like if I put my information in the chat, you guys can hit me up. But definitely, it has definitely been a beneficial thing for me. And I won't even have to do as much as everybody else is doing. But I'll be set up for life. So I'll definitely talk to you guys about it come time when I need to. But to keep her time going, I'll definitely talk to you guys afterwards.
Sounds good. Does that work, Donna?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Let's move on.
You think it's Amanda to switch the slide for me.
It's on the new slide. Annual salary.
Yeah, it was moving slow. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So, some of the annual salaries, this not, I don't know if it's not really accurate. I got it from Google. But you can do your own research too, as far as the annual salary. For beauty school, the annual salary like around 23,000. Around trade school, it's around 42,000. I give it to them because it depends on the trade that you're taking up. For the 4-year college annual salary, 50,000. But I say that depends on what field you're going into also as far as trade school. So and it depends on your degree or wherever you're working at and how much you're getting paid there. And the Army salary, annual salary is 30,000. So it depends on. It's probably more. I don't know too much about it with the Army or the military, how much they get paid, but most definitely. So some schooling one-on-one tips. When you're looking for schools, I would prefer you guys to go looking or going to seek out schools around like your junior year, the beginning of your junior year. Don't wait, please do not wait till your senior year, because I did that kind of, and I really didn't know where I was going. I was supposed to go to Tennessee State, and I did not pursue to even go there. I was trying to go there for nursing, and then I got told that the nursing program got taken out of Tennessee State, so I did not continue there. I didn't go there at all, so I ended up going to the University of Central Missouri because they hit me back and hit my emails and was like, "Oh, you ready to go to school?" I was. So do your research and your homework on whatever school, because you do not want to get yourself into any debt when you're in school. Unless you have a scholarship, do that. But if you don't have a scholarship, please do your research about that school and see how much your parents or yourself have to spend pay for your tuition, and what type of money you have to spend into your tuition. It's your education, so take control of that and think about that when you're just do your research on that school and see what they offer there at that school. Use the remainder of your junior year to schedule visits. Like, go take a visit to the school. I know when I was in 8th grade, I took a visit to Tennessee State. That was why Tennessee State was one of my choices. I also took a visit to Lincoln. That was also one of my Lincoln University in Columbus, Missouri. So I took a visit there. Then I took a visit to UCM. So there was really like 3 of my choices right there. My family, my mother and my uncle and them all graduated from Lincoln, so that's where I get Lincoln from. And and create a list of questions. So when you're on tour with the tour guide I know we have them at most schools, they probably do have them, but ask questions about how the campus, or ask, can you take notes, pictures of the campus during the visit. See what they offer there at the school, like the different activities, see what's your interest at the school, see what type of clubs or organizations they offer. When you become a freshman or when you're coming in at that school, see what all they can offer to you. As far as we had, trying to think of the name, Trio. Trio most definitely a good program. If you're a first generation college student, must definitely look into that at any campus at your school. I know Harris-Stowe has Trio. I know UCM, we have Trio. So look into that because they give out scholarships. They help with if you're struggling tutoring in any classes. I see you're part of Trio like that. It's
Yeah. What about college bound? Because I was in college bound dealing with Trio.
Yeah, college bound is like within, I think, Trio or something like that too. So yeah, that's most definitely something too to look into. But most definitely, if it's like clubs or organizations as far as Greek life too, if you want to become Greek at that school, see if they got the sorority or fraternity that you want to pursue there too. If you want to become Greek. Connect with students and teachers and advisors at that school. So if you have a person or your advisor that's connected to you to come to that school, keep in contact with them. I still keep in contact to the advisor, even though I'm done with my degree at UCM. I was definitely still keep in contact. She's actually an owner in KC. But she has a boutique. If you got friends that are already, most definitely connect to your friends and see what they up to, see if you got friends already at that school, connect to them. Just all the connecting networks that most definitely gonna help you out within your life. And in college, compare options within the schools, the tuition costs, most definitely think about tuition. I had a friend that went to Morgan State. We both went off to college, and I told her before we even went off to college, I said, okay, you going to this expensive school, like you're gonna be able to pay for this? And she like, that was her dream school. But I mean, sometimes you can't go to your dream school just because that's your dream school. But if your dream school costs too much and you don't have the money or somebody not helping you out, I wouldn't advise you to go to your your dream school if you don't have the money. So then she had to come back her freshman year back home, and she had to pay them loans back in order to get her transcript transferred to the next school she went to attend. So make sure you think about that too with tuition or paying your tuition off because or a loan or something at your school, because you must definitely cannot get your transcript transferred to the next school because you must definitely have to pay and then people back in trying to go to another school. Apply to a lot of schools at the end of the summer. I mean, at the end of your senior year, your end of your junior year, beginning of senior year. Find summer leading, summer and leading into your senior year. If you need help, ask your advisor in high school too, what they can do or what school they went to get their degree in, and see if they can help you out too.
I want to add that there are all the people that are working at a university, community college, trade school, or in high school, wherever you are at, there are always people that are willing to help. So you just have to reach out for that help and get that support because they have it.
Yes. So how does this post-secondary education relate back to the things? So it most definitely relate back to resiliency, also leading to improved outcomes for students because it's related to students' belief that they will have the ability to influence their environment and the experience feeling of confidence and believing that things will work out with post-secondary as far as get a job and just be confident of when you go in that interview, oh, this is what I'm going to get this job and everything you do. So just be confident and believe that everything's going to work out within whatever you're going to school, your workforce, the military. Don't let nobody doubt you. whatever you're doing in life, just pursue your degree or workforce. Make sure you get to that next promotion at work and do the best you can. So we're almost coming to closing with me. So the crown is heavy, but the queen is strong. Just saying, as far as anything heavy on your back, you're gonna be stronger than whatever come. Okay, I see it. I see it. Thanks for the comments. But most definitely, if you have something heavy on your back, you're stronger than what you think you are. Never let nobody doubt your beliefs or whatever you're going through in life. I can't stand Jeremiah. Never doubt your belief or anything you go through in life. So yeah, that's most definitely. I do love this quote though. Most definitely take it to
Period. Say it. Say period. I love this quote.
So this actually we met the mayor on Friday via Zoom, and this was something that she said. So we took that to heart, and
I seen y'all picture on Facebook. I was like, wait, what? I think that.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah, I most definitely got this.
I be showing y'all love on Facebook and Instagram. I be commenting on there like.
Okay. So do anybody have any questions for me or anything about the PowerPoint or just for me as a whole? All right. No questions. See the good chat. No questions.
Mia.
Well, hi everybody. Just to reiterate, I'm Dania. And the reason I kind of chose the topic today of entrepreneurship is because, personally, a lot of people bring up this topic and a lot of people bring up this word. And a lot of people tell you, oh, go be an entrepreneur, go do your own thing. And I'm like, hold on, let's slow it down for a minute. Y'all don't actually tell people what's the definition or what resiliency or what work it takes behind it. And kind of fast forwarding a little bit before I get into it. If Amanda could change to the next slide for me. Mm-hmm. All right. So first we're kind of gonna start off with an icebreaker. And for those of you that don't know or do know what it is, if someone could come off mute and say what it is, and do you have any interest in it, in your name and age? So, yeah. Oh, and the chat's open too. I'm free of all kinds. So
I'm sorry, can you please repeat that?
So for our icebreaker, you're just gonna kind of talk about what an entrepreneur is, and are you interested in being one? With saying your name and age.
Oh, okay. Well, my name is Bryn Neely, and I'm 22 years old. I just turned 22 this year. To me, I feel like entrepreneurship is pretty much just organizing and operating your own business. I feel like it has something to do with like financial risk, because I feel like you're taking a risk at starting your business, and you're losing and you're gaining, so you have to be disciplined mentally to be able to handle, not like your business going the way that it should be at times, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. You actually was head on with that. Like, great job. Sometimes, a lot of times, that's what people forget about. Anybody else kind of interested or actually have their own business going on right now?
Mia, do you want to share what you want to do with yours?
Huh?
Do you want to share what your idea for your business is? Or are you gonna?
Sure. Kind of on a personal note, I am becoming an entrepreneur myself and getting a little bit of guidance in that journey. So a little bit about my business is I will be starting to sell like hair products or hair accessories, as you call them. And my business will be called Satin Savage, and I'll be selling satin bonnets, do-rags, pillowcases, and all those different things. So stay tuned, guys, for that one. But yes, it is a journey.
I need some baby don't be bald grease. No, just play.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna move on to the next one. Oh, wait. No. We got a young lady in the chat saying her name is Dierie. Hopefully I said it right. And she's 16. And she believes that being an entrepreneur is a person. Being an entrepreneur is being somewhat independent and making risks to start your own business. I don't plan on being one. Well, that's okay. Some people, it differs for everyone. And that kind of leads me into finding your reasoning. And you want to find the reason behind of why do you want to be an entrepreneur? Why do you want to start up this own business? And kind of going into that, you need to, when finding your motivation for it, you need to kind of question, why is it going to do that? Who's going to help me? Or, is this my purpose? Why is it driving me to pursue so hard? And kind of things with that, those self-conflicting questions and things like that, you can have a mentor for that. That's somebody who could talk you through different things, because you have to stay in a mindset of, oh, I have to keep going. I have to keep being resilient. But we have to learn that, okay, I'm human at the same time. I wanted to wait to, okay. You have to learn that you're human at the same time. You have to learn that, okay, I'm going to need some help in this. I'm going to need that extra push. Like Amanda said earlier, look for the sunshine in things, and having that mentor, having that person can be your sunshine. Just remembering, why do you do it is your sunshine. And you have to think about, how are you going to do it, or what are you going to do it? Like, what drives the passion? What's going to make the process go quicker, knowing that you have this motivation? And I kind of call it the golden circle, as y'all see right here. It kind of talks about why, how, and what, I seen in the chat, it was some activity going on. And y'all can come off mute now. Y'all good.
I'm sorry, I just wanted you to finish talking. I didn't want to cut you off or anything.
No, you're fine.
I just wanted to, well, I don't really think this is a business, but in a way I kind of look at it as a business. But I have my own podcast, but I kind of like put a pause on it because I guess because I know that you were talking about what is your purpose, and just pretty much not really looking at the aspect of like I guess with me, and the reason why I paused my podcast was because I thought I was going to be getting as many listeners as I thought, like my goal that I like was trying to reach. But it wasn't like I didn't reach the goal that I wanted to reach. I guess it just kind of discouraged me a little bit because I want to be a counselor. And so like my platform was just like talking about mental health and like the different like situations and stuff that's pretty much going on in the world, and like tying them to myself, and pretty much just speaking on like my personal experiences, because you never know, like a lot of people could be experiencing the same things as you. And that's kind of what drove me to like starting my podcast, because I feel like a lot of people can relate to a lot of things that I was speaking about. But I stopped because I wasn't getting as many listeners as I thought I would be. Not saying that I wasn't getting like as much support and like people weren't like posting my podcast and stuff like that, but I guess I kind of just stopped because I felt like my platform wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. But I actually do want to start it back again. I just wanted to get like the right equipment and stuff like that, because I started with my laptop, and like it's cool, like it doesn't like sound like muffled or anything like that, but kind of just want to like expand it and get like a mic, if that makes sense. So
Okay. And I'm glad you kind of touched on them SMART goals and, being on your motivation, because we actually gonna touch on that soon. You say how you was a little discouraged because you didn't get to all the listeners that you wanted to. We're actually gonna touch on it as in writing a SMART goal as a business plan, but it's basically a SMART goal set for your business. Business can include many different other things.
and such with everybody having such different passions, yes, I would personally consider the podcast as a business, but it will feel so much like something you love to do, you wouldn't look at it as a business aspect.
Yes, I
So
agree.
yeah.
Can I add
Um,
something real fast?
mhm.
For Bren, so I know that there might be a place that lets you rent their podcast equipment. And I have a contact at a place that I wanna reach out to see, because I don't know if that is something that you're interested in, is like maybe renting the space for a certain time to do your podcast, or if you're wanting to actually purchase it, but I might have a contact for you if you're interested.
Oh wow, that sounds interesting. Yes, I would be interested in that. I just really just like I'm not limiting myself to like different resources and stuff because I feel like you just have to start somewhere. And like I want to start
That's it.
somewhere. And like I've already started, but I kind of just want to, I don't know, like I'm not gonna say like kind of get out of my comfort zone
Grow.
with my podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, message me or remind me at the end and we can touch base.
Okay, thank you.
Ooh, can I do a video with y'all? I do YouTube. I'm trying to find like more things to do. Like to not just like do everything other people do. I want to like find something to do, like
Okay.
other things to do, like go around questioning people like what they think about. Shut the door. Hold on. I'll talk to you at the end.
Okay.
Okay, but I see all this networking and love and support in the comments, and in order to get your business to grow, that's exactly what you have to do. And we're gonna talk about some of those things, and I'm gonna have you guys watch a video really quickly, and it's gonna touch on kind of the topics. They're sitting at a dinner table, and all of them are becoming entrepreneurships. It talks about who you should really hang yourself around, people that's in the same mindset as you. And it also hits on, kind of the mindset of an entrepreneur, because a lot of times what people skip over, it's a mindset thing. You could do anything you want at the end of the day, but it takes a strong mind, because like she said, for example, you get a little discouraged during the process. It's not just about having the money to go with it, but yes, you also, even if you do have the money, you have to maintain a mental stability to say, hey, I know I'm doing something good with my money. I know this is going to help for the better. And if you don't have that mental lockdown, a lot of times you're willing to fall. So the video is gonna kind of touch on it. I'm gonna let Amanda play it for us.
Can you see the video or is it still on the PowerPoint?
I can just make it big.
Okay.
Can we turn it down just a little bit? It's a little loud.
So these are spicy smoky wings. They've got the smoked peach jam in there. So that's where the smokiness comes from. And then there's some mint and peanuts on top.
I'm an entrepreneur just like you guys. To even be an entrepreneur is like a dream for most of the people that I grew up with. I know when I told my mother that I was leaving to start my own company, obviously we have other things that are coming as going to be a priority as well. But she just couldn't fathom the idea of that. Once you reach a certain ceiling that they're like, we didn't even know that existed. And now you want to go beyond that, it's scary. Friends and family to say, hey, why don't you just go for the safer route so we know you're safe? What's the safe route? Safe route is forget about your dreams and just live your life as quote unquote like a normal person. Don't spend that extra time killing yourself trying to build your dream. I know those stresses, and that's what works me up. That's what gets me fired up to just have fellowship around that and make sure that we're a support network for each other. And if you look like how we look, we don't come from communities where we have that kind of infrastructure in place. For me, the biggest driver is just being creative and having people around you that support you. I feel like if you have the two of those, you can make up any type of company that you want. Ashton, what do you feel hearing this? it's interesting to me to see who it is that you and Don surround yourselves with. It's all entrepreneurs. It's all people, going out there trying to get it.
This is why when you said I'm not grinding, I was like, what are you talking about? Because these are my friends, all of these people are telling you that this is what they do. They live it. This guy just left his job and his wife is having a baby and he's like, doesn't matter.
Does that pump you up?
Yeah, because we're over here like, how are they doing it? But that's inspiring. So for me, it's just like I'm not gonna stop until this happens. I need to be sitting right here with all of them, telling my story, right?
Yes. So what are to keep it short and brief, but what are some of the things that you guys kind of took away from the video or kind of, walked away with?
I like how she surrounded herself around people who believe what she can do, and as all of them actually said that, they said they different entrepreneur thing, what they do and all that. I like how that she surrounded herself with a lot of people who trying to start their own business, who trying to. I don't know. I'm just never mind.
No,
I don't know how to
you're
get it
really
out.
great.
I just had it. I just don't know how to put it into words.
No, I feel like you use great words. Just, knowing who you be around, that actually does affect you in many ways. And this is a prime example of saying being around people that'll help you for the better, it really will show, and it really will give you that motivation. And sometimes just the people that you be around, you could find someone to become a mentor towards you. And so kind of going on to the next tip.
I think somebody has a question.
Yes.
There's an emoji that you can raise your hand.
I had a feedback off the video.
Sure.
Okay, so I like when the man said that sometimes people tell you go when he mentioned about normal life, normal people, when he said people want you to just just let life be instead of taking out that route. I just like how he said that's not he quote that's how normal people is, but he was saying that's not how you're supposed to live your life sometimes. Just don't let life take over yourself. Just you work with life. That's why I like what he said.
I really do feel like your environment has an effect on you. It could be a positive or a negative effect. I feel like sometimes um constructive criticism is always good for a business too, because you don't always want to know about the good things that you're doing in your business, but you also want to know about things that you need to improve on so that your business can improve in better ways. And I just think that was interesting in the video, kind of just touching on about surrounding yourself with like-minded people that not just people that are just tell you what you want to hear, but people that tell you things that will help you grow and develop as a person and just pretty much who you want to be.
Most definitely. I'm loving these responses. I really am. And we're gonna touch on the topic of the fundamentals of becoming an entrepreneur. So.
And really fast, I'm going to add too, is that all of these qualities that we're talking about today, if you don't want to become an entrepreneur, well, these qualities can relate to you wherever you are at or based on whatever your goals are. So I want you to keep that in mind. Everything that we're talking about today can relate to anything that you're wanting to do or reach.
Keep going to the next slide. All right. And so kind of another topic of people what don't talk about of running a business. And there are 6 main fundamentals that you cannot run a business without knowing of. The first one is marketing. Marketing is where you kind of put your business out there. How are you going to promote your business? The second one is finances. How are you actually going to pay for this business? Where's the money going to come from? And 3, you need a strategy when marketing and paying for stuff, operating the business and all these different things. You need a strategy to say, hey, how am I going to make this work efficiently? You have to sit there and evaluate those things. Kind of going along with operations of running the actual business. What strategies are you going to use to actually run and operate this business to keep it on and going? And once you start making that money from it, you're going to have to learn about accounting. You're going to be like, okay, I'm making all this money. What I need to do with it? I need somebody to come help me and evaluate, hey, am I using this money in this business wisely? And then also, once you get your money all together and stuff flowing, you're going to need those people. You're going to have to build those relationships with those customers, with those employees, with other businesses. Maybe you could do a couple collabs or things. And all of those are really important into building a business. So if you guys ever thought about, you might go to this famous store or something and you think, say, hey, their marketing is on point. You ever see those commercials? That deals and ties in with marketing, those people skills. Good customer service is everything to me personally. And so a lot of all of these things plays in. And if one falls apart, they all will fall apart. So you want to really keep these things all together. And it also ties in on more directly saying, how am I going to put these things? I'm thinking all these different good things, all of them. That's when you go and sit down and create your business plan. Now, I'm going to let you know, you can't create no business plan 20 minutes, 15 minutes, nothing. It takes 3 to 6 months at least. It could take up to a year or more also, depending on how much you thought and kind of strategize with this. I'm going to go over the business, the 10 different aspects of a business plan. And first, I'm going to start with the executive summary. And it's kind of, you want to do this one very last because this one actually talks about all the other different aspects we're going to hit on momentarily. So you will do this one last, but it will be at the front of your business plan. So it's almost altogether to say a resume for your business. What am I doing here? What is going on here? And you just building this resume for your business. And the next step in that business resume or business plan, as we call it, is your business description. What is your business future goals? And kind of describe and talk about your business, kind of make that almost your elevator pitch. Say, hey, my business is doing this for such purposes. And then you're going to go on to say, hey, how am I going to promote this business with your marketing analysis? Go do your research about the audience and their habits and all of those things. And then you're going to move on to sales and say, hey, what is my customers' buying habits? What do those look like? How am I going to price this stuff? And all of those different things kind of tie into that. And you got to think about those competing businesses. I know a lot of you all have seen different corner stores on each corner, different beauty supplies. Hey, we have to think about, what am I selling that the next beauty supply isn't selling? So you have to take into consideration all of that. You need to learn how to manage and organize your business. Say, hey, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I need to make sure this organized on what I need to do and make sure everybody has a task in a complete order. That is very important because you're going to need all of those 6 different fundamentals of running a business. And when you write that out, you need to direct and make sure all of those are running properly. And moving on to your product and description. You see how all the stuff we didn't even hit on a product yet. All of those are actually important. But then you need to know if you're selling a product or a service. You need to make sure if you have a product, you need to go check that quality and go say, hey, I want this certain quality for these purposes, and this is going to be very fundamental to me. Or if you're going to do this service, you need to put together and say, hey, I want to do this service with such and such and all of that. And all of it kind of ties together. We're going with the operation plans, like describe how your company will operate. How will we get these products or this service out? And all of that kind of ties together is, what is all of these costing me? What is all of these different products or service costing me? If I have to go wash cars or something, how much is it costing me to go buy the soap or anything, or go buy the towels and the drying towels and all that I need? Or if I'm doing a product, how much is it gonna cost me to get these individual products? Or how much should it cost me for shipping? And different things like that. So you have to sit there, do your research for all of it. Like, it does take a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then to bring it all together, you have your business appendix. And this is basically where you feel like if you miss anything else or something you really, really want to say, but you don't know where to put it, add it at the end. It's the rest of your SMART goals and future details about your business. You know, all of this kind of tie together, and it'll make the A1 resume. Think if you was hiring this business or you taking on this business, you see, oh, okay, you got your stuff laid out. You know what you want. If I put this in front of you right now, you got a plan. You know how much it's going to cost you. You know what you're going to do when you actually get there. This is very organized. And a lot of times that takes a lot, but it also takes that resiliency to sit yourself down and humble yourself to go do their research, to go find all these different things, which is very important to do, which is also kind of going to tie in. And I'm going to show you an example of a business plan really quickly. And this is more like of an outline, but you see kind of a lot of the different stuff we talked about, like the team, how is that going to operate, the targeting market, so who do you want your potential customers to be, the financial summary, funding, and a lot of people look at these things in depth. It's just like getting a credit card. If you wanted to go get a credit card for your business, they're going to say, hey, what are you talking about? Let me see if you worthy of getting my money to help me support you. If you just playing, then I can't help you. But this business plan will help show that you are very serious. And you know, that's when it takes time to step up and become that leader. Yeah, there we go. And you know, becoming a leader takes the things of having that motivation, having goals, the contributions that you do. You need to build those relationships, still do that networking like we talked before. Stay positive. You need to code switch. If you're not having a bad day or something, hey, your employees don't deserve that, because I know at least one of us has had a boss and he was like, I don't want to work for you. You want to have people that want to work for you, have the same goal, have the same passion, have the same drive, that care about what you are doing. And I promise you, that takes you so far. No matter if you want to be an entrepreneur or not, showing those leadership skills will get you very far, no matter what you want to do. I don't care what trade you want to go in, nursing, doing cars, being in the army. Leadership is needed no matter what you do. No matter what you do. And you know, being a good leader also takes a growth mindset, you know, and it might seem like I'm rumbling here, but it all intertwines together. You know, being a leader, you have to have a growth mindset. You have to not, okay, once you get up there and you know how to be somebody's leader, you don't want to turn into their boss where you just tell them stuff. You don't take your own corrective criticism. You have to have the, okay, hey, they said maybe I could work on this. Let me go evaluate this. But being in that fixed mindset will push you down more than it will push you up. There's always room to grow. I don't matter who you are. It don't matter what you do. None of that. You can always grow. And that's how you keep being resilient. Like, yes, there will be some people that's going to try to tear you down and may say negative stuff. But no, there's much more to be said. If you go, hey, they're like, oh, you ain't doing such and such right. Let me go back. Let me see what I can do. Actually, let me see what room of improvement I could do. And it's going to help you grow so much and get so much higher than the next person might bound to be. And kind of just throughout what I've been saying, and I know it might be like some people don't want to be an entrepreneur and different things like that. But take what I say seriously. It don't matter what you do. all of it ties in to being resilient. You know, no matter what you do, you have to be resilient to survive, because there are people out here to get you. You know, but when you come prepared with that business plan or that resume or that life plan, can't nobody tear you down. That's because you are strong minded. You have gained and obtained and grew and held on to the mindset of growing, of being your own person. If you think about it, all of us are entrepreneurs in our own head. You all have to grow and have to become strong and open your own thing. All of us have our own different personalities. Now, our personal characteristics and stuff like that, it can be built on. But you know, we are all entrepreneurs of our own self and our own body. So no matter what you want to do, take these leadership roles and run with them and just watch how much more you could do. So that's all my spiel. And I'm gonna give you guys my quote to remember. Oh, and also, if you guys are having a business, I know the young lady kind of said a little bit earlier, I have a clutch website. I'm actually using it myself also. This will help you write out your business plan. You might not know how to finance like the materials and all of that. This website will help you do every single step of your business plan. And it also will connect you with mentors and different things like that that could go over your business plan. Say, hey, maybe you could do this better. Or I really like this. Let me connect you with those things. And also another big thing is LinkedIn. LinkedIn will be your friend no matter what you do. You can always find them for different things. I actually use it now, and I connected with a lot of people. And I say, hey, hit me on my business Facebook, which is LinkedIn. So that's kind of what that's about. And you keep those relationships and you grow with them. And the thing to remember is nothing is impossible. The word itself says I'm possible. So I want you guys to walk away with that today and just think about that word and look at it. Cause I'm like, it's literally in the word. So yeah.
Thank you, Dania. That was a great presentation on entrepreneurship. I really
No
enjoyed
problem.
Next, we have, well, I guess questions. Anyone have any questions before we move on?
I need the link that she said that she got with her business or something. Cause I it ain't no business. I consider it as a hustle because I just started it this year, but I made a lot of sales. So I'm thinking about taking that hustle into a business.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. The link will be the link to the article that Dania is using to make her business plan will be in the email that we send out with the resources, with all the other videos, with all the other articles. So check out that email. It will be sent on Friday. So
What Friday?
what?
What Friday?
Because that's just when it's going to be sent.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Awesome. The next topic is investing, and Nkosi will be presenting this one.
Hi, everybody. How's it going? All right.
Good.
So, allow me to introduce myself once again. I'm Nkosi. I am a fan of investing. I guess you could say a fan of investing. I've been investing in the stock market for a little bit over a year, so a year and some change. I started, very shortly after I turned 18 because of the fact that I think it is a very, very important thing. I think it's very important to be financially literate and to know these different things about finances. So let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so what does it mean to invest? These are different definitions here. It says investing means giving or devoting something to for the purpose of achieving something. There's also to give power, authority, or rank, or to endow with power. Does anyone here have any other definitions for invest or investing?
I will say something just like, I guess, like a quality of investing is that it's going to take time. It's not something that's going to be easy to gain from.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. That was that was a wonderful input. Bryn says to expand your money with with the expectation of achieving a profit. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And when I say invest, you know, you notice here that power is mentioned twice. There's even a man here wearing a cape and a mask over here. It takes a while, right, to achieve that level of power. As Amanda was mentioning with time, Superman didn't become Superman in a day. It took him years to become the Superman that we know at the moment. You have to really furnish it with that power. You have to give it that power. And that is essentially what you do with investing. Next slide, please. All right. So for an overview, investing, to put simply, is a method of utilizing your money to make yourself more money. The idea is to put your money where it has the potential to grow over time. In order to get into the stock market in Missouri, by the way, some of us are younger, but in order to get into the stock market in Missouri, you have to be at least 18. If you are a minor, um, your parent or guardian can open it up for you. They can open up an investment account for you. So that is something that you can look into. You don't have to wait. I chose to wait because I wanted to have my own sort of autonomy over it and everything of that nature. And there are multiple ways to invest, as we're about to get into with this slide. How do I invest? Well, you're very lucky because we live in a time where everything is at our fingertips, even investing. As you can see here at the bottom, we have 3 different investing apps in which you can get into. Robinhood and Webull is specifically for stocks. Acorns is a very interesting, neat little app I use myself, where it'll essentially round up and invest spare change from expenses that you make from your day to day. It's also like a lot like having a financial advisor because of the fact that before you even really get started with investing, you are given a risk assessment test, which determines a if you want to be a conservative investor, if you want to be a moderate investor, if you want to be an aggressive investor. And basically choosing that sets up how your money is invested. And it's a really, really interesting thing. And my subscription is only $1 a month. You can choose up to $3 a month, but it's a very cheap thing. And it's really good for people who really, maybe you can't afford to hire a full-time financial advisor to look over your money and things of that nature. Lucky for us, as I said, we live in a time where it's all available. Could you go back, please? Yeah. But there are multiple different apps. These are just 3 that I know of and I use. There's also TD Ameritrade and a lot of other different investing apps. Next slide, please. All right. So here's the fun part, the very fun part, investing in retirement. You probably are thinking right now, we're in our late teens and early 20s, and I'm sitting here talking about retirement. You're like, why is this important? Why does this even matter? Well, I'll tell you why it's important and why it matters. Retirement is something that every person is going to have to do at some point. You aren't going to be able to work forever because our bodies gradually will get older and weaker, and we won't be able to do the same things that we were able to do as, young folks. Many young people believe that retirement is something that they don't have to worry about until their 30s, but in reality, you should start investing in retirement as early as possible. Thanks to compound interest, saving money in your 20s puts you in a better position than saving money in your 30s. Every $1 you save at 20 will be worth $21 at 60 versus $1.30 being $10.60. So compound interest is your friend here, right? Waiting 10 years from your 20s to start investing cuts the potential profit in half of that dollar, right? Let's see, we have some questions in the chat. Let's see. Expand your money with the expectation of, oh, you already read that. Some jobs offer this option. It's beneficial. Yes, definitely. Is retirement and 401k the same thing? Yes. So it is essentially the same thing. I'm going to be getting more into that and the different plans for retirement in the next slides. But yeah, that's essentially what it is. But as you can see here, there's a compound interest calculator. I calculated this at the interest rate being 8%. Future value of a dollar when you invest it at 20 and you wait 40 years until you're 60, that dollar is worth $21. That's much more than only $10. I'll tell you that much. I'd much rather have $21 than just $10. So yeah, start your investing in retirement early. I suggest a Roth IRA. But here, we've gotten into it. Types of retirement plans. So my personal favorite is the Roth IRA. IRA stands for individual retirement account. My personal favorite is the Roth IRA. It is an investment of post-tax dollars that you don't have to pay taxes on if you take it out or as it continues growing. The SEP IRA, SEP stands for Self-Employed Persons Retirement Account. It is essentially the traditional IRA, but for self-employed people. And the traditional IRA is an IRA that grows without tax, but when you try and take the money out of the account, it is taxed. And the tax may be more or less depending on your tax bracket now, and your tax bracket when you retire. And there's also a 401k. A 401k is where a portion of your paycheck is taken and put into your 401k account for your retirement. And employers may match your investment, but they do not necessarily have to. There's nothing that says that an employer has to match your investment. So I'd recommend if you do, once we do start to step into the workforce and, get into our careers, find out about those 401k plans. Are they matching your investments? You should be matching at least every half dollar or, something like that. That's definitely what I would recommend. Is there anything in the chat? Any questions?
I have a question. Can you explain what you mean by matching?
So matching just means every dollar that you invest, your employer will match that or put that dollar in as well, right? Matching it.
So just getting double of what you would be getting.
Yeah. So, and you can also have an IRA and a 401k at the same time. So that is something you would also consider. I plan on having both at the same time and making sure that my employer is matching my investment. So yeah, it's all about it. Your quality of life after you retire should only be going up, in my opinion, right? You should, after you retire, be able to enjoy your life to the fullest capacity because you don't have to work anymore. And it's your time. You're spending the rest of your life doing what makes you happy. So that's what should be happening. The quality of your life is going up, and having the proper finances is the way to do that. All right, next slide.
And also, you have to be able to retire, right? You have to be able to take a break from working. So that's where investing comes in.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so now we're going to get into something that I'm very passionate about, the stock market. As I said previously, I've been investing for a little bit over a year. I started with a $20 investment, and I turned that $20 investment within a couple of months into $200. And then I kind of slowed down a little bit, but at max, my brokerage account was worth about over $700. So I like to think I know what I'm doing. All right, so the stock market. The stock market refers to the collection of markets and exchanges where regular activities of buying, selling, and the issuance of shares of publicly held companies take place. This is from my source, Investopedia. as you can see here, there's a bunch of, older white gentlemen doing stuff, investing, looking in, on Wall Street. This guy with his hair on the sides of his head is pretty funny to me. All right, now what is stock? Stock, it is a security that represents the ownership of a fraction of a corporation. This gives the owner of that stock a proportion of the company's profits and assets, and units of stock are called shares. So as you can see here in this little picture at the bottom, bottom left, there's a giant coin that has a piece being taken away from it. That's essentially what a company is, right? That's a giant coin, and you as an investor buying stock are a person that's, taking that piece, right? So I thought that this picture was really good at sort of describing what investing in the stock market is and when you buy stock into a company. So yeah, it's essentially giving you a partial ownership of that company. And you can invest, there are people that sometimes they invest for a short-term gain, which is called a short squeeze. I'm currently invested in a company that was, it's only worth about, a share is only worth about $2 and some change at the time. But I'm seeing, as I'm looking at the market, I'm thinking that the price of the stock is going to go up to maybe the double digits or maybe a few dollars. But whatever it is, I make a profit, and then I just sort of buy out and move on to the next thing. And that's essentially what a short squeeze is. And then there are also people that buy into stock for the long term. Like if you were to buy into Hershey stock or Walmart or something, obviously you're not buying into them because you're going to make a huge profit, but say you are invested for the dividends. You get dividends at every earning quarter, and those can be pretty beneficial as well. So I recommend doing some research on these different topics because it's really interesting. And with stock, when you buy stock, you're essentially buying money. And, that's the smartest thing you can do with money is to buy more of it. So, all right, what you need to do when it comes to stocks, what you need to do before anything, and I cannot stress this enough, please do your research. Jumping into an investment before doing so can lose you a lot of money. All right, I don't know if you all remember, but a few months ago, people were buying in the GameStop because of the short squeeze, as I mentioned earlier, the lingo that was happening with GameStop. People ran up the price of the stock, and people were making a lot of money. And then word gets around and people are like, oh yeah, let's buy into GameStop. They buy GameStop stock at the height of its price, and then the next day it's worth $40, $50 less than it was the other day. Why? Because they didn't do their research. They lost that money because they weren't doing the research. They heard what somebody else said, and they lost a ton of money because of it. You can't go off of hearsay. You have to go off of research, and you have to make sure if you are following a source, that source is credible, right? And you also have to be comfortable with the investment because at the end of the day, it's your money. All right. All right, sources for market advice, right? You've probably been sitting here listening to me talk about the market and getting market advice and all of these different things. And you're like, well, how am I supposed to figure this out? How am I supposed to know? Well, I added that for you. All right, some sources for market advice. If you aren't a person who can sit down and read the Wall Street Journal for an hour to find out about potential investment opportunities, we're in the same boat. I go to St. Louis University. I'm a business student, and we get the Wall Street Journal subscriptions for free. And ask me how many times I've read the Wall Street Journal. Like 0 times ever. All right. There are spaces on Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit and more where you can get good stock advice and potential plays without hassle. There is a Reddit channel called Wall Street Bets, which is as I mentioned earlier with the GameStop short squeeze, they were the ones who were responsible for the GameStop short squeeze. And the people that were around, the people that were in that channel and knew about it made a lot of money from it. I said with YouTube, here's some source recommendations for people who are investors and are very well researched in stocks and in the stock market and in investing, to content creators of color, the Stocksman, who has given a lot of really good advice for me. I began following him and following his advice over the last, I want to say, a little bit less than a year ago. And I learned a lot of really good stock plays, and I made a lot of money from his advice. There's also Black Girl Stocks. I thought it was really, really dope to see a young Black woman in the investing game and in the stocks game who's given good plays and teaching about stocks as well. And both of these people teach about it. Both of these people have I believe, I know the Stocksman for a fact has a Discord channel. I'm a part of that, where they give good stock advice and info and post about market research and things that are going on in that nature. And I also know that the content creator Black Girl Stocks does a lot of videos teaching about certain lingo when it comes to investing in stocks and whatnot. So I'd highly recommend both of those channels. But anywhere where you can get stock advice and learning good information and can learn good information, I recommend you go.
Question, can you just, speaking of lingo, can you explain short squeeze, I think you said?
Yeah, so a short squeeze is essentially it's when you have it's a small company or a price that is very, very small, and you run the price up to a much higher amount than the original price of the stock. So with GameStop, the GameStop stock was only about, I want to say $4, and they were really not really performing super amazingly in the market, and where people would bet against against GameStop, and they would be like, oh yeah, this is going to keep going down or whatever. So essentially, they ran up the price of the stock, and once they ran up that stock's price, they bought out of it and made a profit, if that makes sense. So where it went from a $4 price to a $70 price in the course of a day. And if you have multiple shares of GameStop and each of those shares went from $4 to $70, you just made a huge profit. And so that's sort of what a short squeeze is. It's a short-term investment that makes you a lot of money.
Gotcha, makes sense.
All right. So need to know information when it comes to the stock market. All right. The stock market is very volatile and you are going to lose money. I have lost less money than I've gained. I've made more money than I've lost, thankfully. But a lot of people who, are investing big bucks, millionaires, billionaires, they lose a lot of money in stocks, right? And it's very possible to lose a lot of money. So you have to be aware that you're going to lose that money, right? You're going to lose some of it. But the only way to really, really lose it is if you sell the stock, right? Hold on to it because it very well has the potential of making those gains again, right? For example, the cryptocurrency, Dogecoin. At one point, Dogecoin was worth only a fraction of some change, less than a penny. It is now worth, if anybody, I believe 20 cents. If you bought into Dogecoin and it was worth, say, 1 cent, and it went down in price to half a cent, if you sold that Dogecoin, you would have lost that money. But say, I did the same thing. I bought into Dogecoin. It went down. I was like, all right, I'm going to keep holding. And then it shot up to 74 cents one day, and I made a huge profit. That's how my account got to $700. You have to be willing to hold on to it. You have to be resilient. See, I brought it back to the topic. You have to be resilient when it comes to it, right? the stock market it can be a very confusing game, and it can be a very hard game. But I would rather put my money into the stock market than go off and buy a pair of new shoes that's going to drop in value over the course of the next 6 months or something like that. As I said before, when you're buying stocks, you're essentially buying more money. You're putting your money towards more money. And that's the smartest thing you can do with stocks. With investing, period, you're putting your money towards more money. Invest in yourself. How does investing, brings us back, how does investing relate to resiliency? Well, as I said before, you have to be very, very, very strong of mind and strong of will in order to be an investor, right? You have to be resilient because you can see that money dropping. I remember, watching my Dogecoin, watching my brokerage account go down in price by $100 one day, and I was like, oh my God, this is freaking terrible. But am I going to sell anything? No, I'm going to hold it all because I can make that $100 back. And I did. I made back $150, right? It is so important for you to realize that you have to be resilient and that you have to be very, very strong-willed when it comes to spending your money, when it comes to investing your money, right? That's really the best advice that I can give you. All right. And so the quote that we have here is to invest your energy into something that is going to contribute to your growth. And I know I put investing in the context of finance a lot, but when you invest, investing doesn't always have to just be your money. It can be your energy, your time. And you want to invest those things into things that are going to contribute to your growth, right? Investing your money financially will contribute to the growth of your account. Investing your energy can contribute to the growth of yourself spiritually, right? Investing your time can contribute to the growth of yourself physically or mentally. These are just things to definitely take into account. Yeah. I have to borrow y'all quotes. Yeah. Questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I'm here. If you have a question, if you don't, it's fine too. Also, I want to leave everybody with some info that I just learned. Apparently, you do not have to be over 50 to join the AARP. I just learned that yesterday, and I'm telling literally everybody because you can save a lot of money on flights and like all these different things. So yeah.
Thank you, Nkosi. I loved everything about your presentation. Jeremiah, on to you.
All right, so on to my favorite presentation. Again, I'm Jeremiah.
Go fast, we can't see you.
I don't know why.
There you are.
There was tape on her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I'm here to close out with my topic, Black excellence. If you want to move on to the next one, there we go. All right, so for the icebreaker, so which one of the presentations stood out to you guys so far?
I like all of them. I ain't gonna lie. It's just like it's hard to pick from because you actually like they all relate.
All right, anybody else before we move on?
I like the stock market presentation.
That's what's up. He too excited. All right, so we can move on. All right, so what's your definition? So everyone's definition of Black excellence is different, right? And these are two ways that they're different. So what does it mean to you? And what is the definition of Black excellence to you? Anybody want to answer that?
Can you repeat your question again?
I was saying, so everybody's definition of black excellence and what it means to them is different. So tell me what your definition and what does it mean to you?
Well, for me, my definition of black excellence is furthering the progress of our people in any way possible, pushing us forward as a people and as a culture, and moving toward a direction of the truest level of freedom. That to me, that is black excellence.
That's perfect. Anybody else?
I have one. I feel like it is being able to proudly stand firm in your reality as African American and truly embrace all that comes with it, as it is very powerful, and being able to acknowledge that you are proud of the experience and proud to further, establish and represent your people.
Somebody said the definition of black excellence is basically black people succeeding in any and everything that we do. That's perfect. So I love it. So with black excellence, you have to realize that your definition has to be something that you stand on. Don't let nobody push you off that definition, and make sure you are the standard bearer of that definition, and that you hold key to that meaning. If you want to move on. All right, black resiliency. All right, so we've already talked about resiliency, right? Let's get into who's most resilient. You want to click for me? The capacity to recover quickly from difficulties and toughness. So the biggest example is you. You have to realize that you go through your trials and your tribulations and your toughness, and that you have to realize that don't let nobody knock you off your story. At the end of the day, you went through it, you conquered it, and you're here today to tell it. So don't let nobody knock you off that. At the end of the day, you are able to tell that story only in the way that you're able to tell it. So don't let nobody take away the sweetness of it. Black schooling, right? All right. So how many of us go to a HBCU or have graduated this year, 2021?
Are you asking graduating from college?
Yeah, I'm asking who graduated from like this year or in years in general, which is
I'm
cool.
graduating next year.
Next year? Okay, that's perfect. Anybody else graduating this year,
Well,
next year?
in May I am.
And
I was supposed to graduate in well this May, but I ended up transferring school, so my credits didn't like transfer over, so that was the only reason why.
all right. So before we move on, so the whole point of asking that was to give you guys encouragement to keep breaking the standard bearer. Not really many people continue with college, which is okay. But the fact that you have graduated high school is everything, and I applaud you to the Most High. Continue what you're doing. Again, persevere through it all, and continue to break that generational curse that is put into statistical black people lives. You can go ahead. Mhm, mhm. All right, black successful entrepreneurs. So we always talk about the dead, as we so to speak, of the successful black people. Let's talk about the living. So Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, Diddy, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and you got to enter in your own name. For all you entrepreneurs out there, whether you're future entrepreneurs or you're got your own business now, put your name down there so I can have you on that same list. If anybody, I've heard a few businesses that they got out. If you're feeling a little shaky on it, that's okay. Keep at your story. The trials is only makes the lesson even sweeter. So continue with your story. Take everything for what it is and with a grain of salt. And here's some of their things that that they own, some of their businesses. Oprah owns Harpo Inc. Michael Jordan owns some of the Charlotte Hornets. Sean Diddy owns his own Bad Boy Records. Jay-Z does Rock Nation. Beyonce does Parkwood Entertainment. And again, you got to put your own business and your own foundation in there. All right, so investors. The deep-rooted gap and participation between the groups persists with 55% of Black Americans and 71% of white Americans reporting stock market investments. Investments and investors is the biggest thing right now. Everybody is getting into it. So why are you not? Is the question I would ask you. Through all the doubts and all that, again, the biggest word I would definitely use for you is research. Research, research, research. Somebody in the chat said Rihanna became a big Black women power. I love it. That's something that's actually was talking about today for money managers. We have to write a nice paper about Rihanna and her becoming a billionaire. So I'm glad you're keeping your back history, so to speak. But these are some of the investments. Kevin Hart is invested into Tommy John. 50 Cent is invested into Casper. John Legend is invested into Thrive Market. And Jay-Z is invested into Robinhood. So if you haven't invested or are looking into investment, do that. Take that leap of faith and again, research, take that leap of faith and go out there and do it. All right. And this is a quote, things to remember. You don't have to be perfect. Having a bad day is okay. Small steps are also progress. Asking for help is strength. People love and appreciate you. And that's me.
So this is a summary that we have that we kind of all came up with together, and I really like it. It's really powerful. So here we go. In order to be resilient, you must invest in yourself and in your life to set yourself up for success in all other areas, including your post-secondary plan, starting your own business, starting a family, etc. Love the Young Money Managers. So yeah, that's very true. That's kind of how we are bringing everything together. Does anyone have anything that they want to comment on? Any questions about Jeremiah? I like your moves over there. Any questions about any questions about any of the topics? We're gonna have some time. We have about 15 minutes left for any questions, comments. We want to have a discussion. We did talk about a lot of topics tonight, so I want to open the floor up for some discussion. So let's go ahead and have discussion.
I just want to say that I was really thankful for each and every presentation. I feel like they were really beneficial, and this information can actually apply to anything, like any aspect in your life. So I just feel like it was really beneficial. So I just want to thank you all for the presentations that you presented us with, because this information was really really useful.
Oh, we're so happy to hear that, and we also want to thank you guys for attending, because we wouldn't be able to share this information without you guys. So it's a win-win for all of us.
It really is.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else you want to add anything?
Is he crying?
What?
What was the
No,
question?
not yet.
Market. Is E-Trade a good site?
Sorry, say it again.
Is E-Trade a good site to trade on?
Is E-Trade a good site to trade on? I am not familiar with E-Trade, and I like to be in the loop about every sort of online trading platform. I am not familiar with it, and I usually don't jump into things that I'm not familiar with it. But if it's something that you're interested in and you want to do it, please, do your research and make sure that you know. I would recommend if you wanted to start investing in the stock market, I would recommend Robinhood, Webull, or TD Ameritrade. More so Robinhood or Webull, because those are very good for beginning traders and also, pro traders as well. But when I was first starting, it was really crucial for me, and it helped me out a lot with Robinhood, especially because of the fact that sometimes you don't have the money to buy a whole share of Amazon or something like that because it's $1,000, right? But you can buy partial shares of a stock, and I thought that that was really essential, and you can still get growth from that stock. So I would recommend Robinhood or Webull. And then once you progress on, maybe TD Ameritrade would be a good move as well.
Great question. Anyone else? Any other questions about resiliency, entrepreneurship, post-secondary education, Black excellence? Any other investing questions or comments? Stories?
So I just want to thank you guys for this presentation, but for the previous presentation that you had provided us, also with the car buying and credit building, I really liked those presentations because I'm looking for cars right now, and also I just looked for my first credit card. So I learned a lot from you guys. I just want to thank you guys for all of that.
Awesome. We love to hear that. That's great. If you have any further questions about like credit building specifically, I'm going to put my email in the chat. So if you guys have any further questions about anything, any topics we presented on this whole summer, you feel free to email me. Okay. Because
what about him telling about the military stuff?
Yeah, that's Jeremiah. Jeremiah, you want to, Johnny, what's your question?
I'll put my number in the chat. You can just text me.
Hey, if we actually have time, I think playing that last video would be dope.
Do what?
Playing that last video would be really dope.
Yes. Yeah, I'll do that. We're gonna, since we have a few minutes left, we'll play another quick video, and then let me get my email added in the chat though for any questions. Perfect. You guys got my email. Let me pull up that last video. I think it was, where was that? Did I already miss? Already went to, oh, there it is. Okay. Can you see it on the screen?
Challenges, they're nothing new. No, they make you stronger.
Can you guys see it?
To learn, adapt, and overcome. When your next challenge comes.
Can you see the video? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, like I said, I was kind of raised in a entrepreneurial family, right? I was always taught, don't work. I'll just be honest, my father, don't work for the white man. That was it, right? You get the education, anything you take, you put it towards your own business, put your own 2 feet on the ground, save your money, get a hustle. He showed me all these things to do. So it was always in my mind that I had to work for myself. The only way I'm going to come up is to work for myself. So I was never trained to, you're going to get a great education, then you're going to go get a great job, and then you're going to be successful, then you're going to raise a family. That was out. Go get your own brand, raise your family, give your brand to your family, let them continue that generational wealth. So that's the way I was taught. And that's the way I got to keep it moving.
Okay, so give me, rephrase the question that you had specifically.
Basically, what I was saying is Booker T. Washington said that to offset any type of segregation or discrimination or from playing the victim, we need to educate the entrepreneurs. Has that experience kind of helped you push through, and have you been able to bring others up because of your entrepreneurship?
Okay, so thank you for that question. I definitely believe that entrepreneurship is freedom.
Yeah.
it's ultimate freedom. I was writing down a thought just yesterday as I was flying through Chicago that one sign of enslavement is a name change. That when people say that you're something that you're not. So if I was to like go and address the same idea with biblical characters, we could look at Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. That was not their name.
Yes.
It was their name that they were given in enslavement. And I can just imagine how they were in a room together, and one of them yelled, "Hey Shadrach, no, that is not my name. I'm Toby." You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we have a responsibility to know who we are.
Yeah.
We have a responsibility to do our due diligence to make our name great. That somebody can walk around and call you a liar. Is that who you are?
Yeah.
That's not who you are. Somebody can walk around and call you a thief. Is that who you are? That's the name that the enslavement has given you, right? And so I think that the only way that we can exercise true freedom is in ownership of our stuff, of ourselves, of our actions, of the things that we create, that we can be makers. I think that this is the time for all hustlers to unite, you know, that we all can make whatever we want to be a part of. We no longer have to sit back and say, "Oh, it's because of what you did to me." Listen, I was molested as a child. So if we want to go back and talk about victimization of the things that people have done to us, we can do that. Or we can rise above it and we can say, well, this is who I am now. This is what I'm going to do. When I started my business, I could not bake. Not even out of a box. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any credit. I didn't have any experience in the business. Nobody was going to give me a loan for anything. I was losing the house that the very bakery exists in right now, 11 years later. Because when you put your mind, this is what I was saying earlier, we can be focused on what happened for us instead of what has happened to us. I believe that it is that blood running through my veins that had things taken from her. You know, it is that blood running through my veins that said, no, you can't come in here. It's that blood that is running through my veins that made my great grandfather one of the first to be able to sing where he sang. And those are the things that I'm using today to get me from where I am to where it is that I want to be. And it's those things that I'm giving to my children and saying, this is what you have. We're not talking about what we're not, we're talking about what we are. And I think that's the thing.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car. Okay, you ready?
Awesome. That was a great video. I love it. Does anyone want to comment on the video? Any thoughts you have after the video?
I like when she said she doesn't let the past define who she is today. When she mentioned about how she was molested, but she not try to use it as victimized. She wants you to overcome that. For you want to just be the molested child. She actually became a new name for herself. So that's what I like about that video.
Yes, definitely. And that definitely relates to resiliency because she was resilient enough to be in that mindset and to think about her future. Definitely. Anyone else? Dania, Alexis, what do you guys like about the video that you found?
But I really like how the video actually, kind of talks on it, speaks on many different levels, stories, and aspects. Something that was kind of deep. When I first picked the video, I was kind of a little sketchy of showing it, but I'm like, let's be realistic with each other, And that would be a dishonor to the video to just letting what she said her past experience was to stop me from playing it. they really show her resiliency.
Mhm.
Personally talked about, hey, I experienced this, but I ain't let that stop me.
Mhm.
Had that same thought, things that discourage you in your veins, let that be your push, your motivation, your why, your reasoning, your purpose.
Mhm.
Was something I just loved a lot about that video. And it went from a male and a female perspective. And that was something that was really deep to me.
Most definitely, she hit all the points. I like that. Get it, the Nia. We dropped our numbers in the group chat, so y'all can text us. We famous. Just text us.
What she said.
We famous. Y'all can text us. We're not gonna bite. We're good people.
Well,
Yeah.
if no one else has anything else to say or add or questions to ask, then we just want to thank you guys so much for being a part of this journey with us and attending our workshops. I've seen a couple of your faces multiple times in our workshops. So thank you for attending and engaging with us. We definitely enjoy it and we love sharing our knowledge with you all. Any of the young money managers want to say something before we end the call?
Yes. Always save day.
What'd you say?
Always save for a rainy day.
Yep. Always have some money in your savings account.
Remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget the AARP has no minimum age, so go crazy.
Love it. Jeremiah.
I would definitely say my number is in the chat. So like let me know for anything, any conversation, talks, whatever, it's always there. So let me know.
Perfect. Let's see. There's something in the chat.
It was nice joining y'all group again. I'll see y'all probably Tuesday.
What'd you say? John A., what'd you say?
It was nice joining y'all group again. I'll see y'all Tuesday.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you all. And then let's see. Thank you guys. This is my first year and it was lovely. Oh, we love to hear that. We love to hear you had a good first experience. Definitely come back. Be in the program again. There's so many experiences and places to learn from. And Bren, if you want to remind me, what agency are you working with?
Currently I'm working. Are you asking like what work experience?
No, like what agency your job like you're a part of. So we're a part of MERS Goodwill.
Well, I'm a part of I think I'm not really sure. I know it's MERS Goodwill, and then the other one was just say STO Youth Job. So that's what it says. It said STO Youth Jobs work experience. So I'm not really sure. I think there was like two different categories. One was the internship, and one was the regular just work experience.
Yeah. So Goodwill is the regular summer work experience.
Yes.
Who's your job coach?
Natasha Borders.
Okay, so yeah, it's not with Goodwill because I don't think.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay. But that's great. I love to hear that this is your first year and that you've had a great experience. So I'm gonna say that this program is only growing and continuing to grow. So definitely come back and see how we change next year and get that.
Yes, my school actually introduced me to STO Youth Jobs. They like send us different like opportunities and stuff within like our career field, and just like they send us like different opportunities and like internships that we can do like during the summer. And then I saw the listing for the STO Youth Jobs, and I was like, oh wow, this sounds interesting. So I just kind of just went forward and just applied.
Yeah,
definitely a good experience.
Awesome. And you never know where one experience can lead you because you never know who you're going to meet and what connections you can make. So that's great. Love it. And then Devante said in the chat that this is his 4th year and last year with you guys. And I want to say thank you for everything you gave me to help me on my journey. That was so sweet. Oh, good luck with the rest of your summer. And
I'm sorry, I have one question.
Sure.
So, because I know that you said that you're a part of the Mirrors Goodwill. What's the difference? Like how, like, was there like an option to choose between the Mirrors Goodwill and just like the work experience or STO youth jobs or?
So basically how it works is STL Youth Jobs is the main nonprofit. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so STL Youth Jobs is the main nonprofit, and then they work with other agencies in St. Louis to provide the job coaches and the work experience. So there's MERS Goodwill, Slate, Urban League, Mission St. Louis, and I think Slip. I'm not sure if I got all 5 of those right. But there's different of those different partners. That's how you, when you applied to the program, it filtered you based on what you put on your application. But I think there is a way to choose for next year, which one you want or which one, I'm not sure. That's a great question. If you want to email me that question, I can get you more information on it. I don't want to give.
Because Miss Border, she pretty much just told me, because I know that when I first applied like earlier this year, she told me that that they do match you up with like your interests and stuff.
Yeah.
But I know that she was saying that there were like different programs, but I wasn't really sure what she meant by that. I guess I should have asked more about it before I just pretty much just chose the one that she kind of just like chose chose it for me.
Okay.
And instead of me choosing my own, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. If you want, I can get more information on that for you when you email me that information, and I can get that for you.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Any other questions or anything? We're right at a little over 7:30. So if you guys are good, if you guys can log out, but I'll stay on for a couple more minutes if there's any other questions or anything. Awesome. Sounds like we are good to go. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you later.